All right, thank you guys for being here. Obviously, a good day for us. I respect Coach Bechtel, that program. I thought they played hard. They competed. They found a way to get in the end zone against us. That was an excellent run by their player. I thought we were efficient. Clean ball game, not a lot of mistakes. We were able to get a lot of guys to play in the game, and I'm excited about that. So, great way to end non-conference play and get ready for conference play. As an aside, we called this week Operation Blood Moon. Anxious to get the alternate jerseys in there, the all reds, which the guys really wanted. So happy to do that. Really appreciate the crowd, the people that were there. It was a hot day. Appreciate them staying all the way to the very end. And really excited for Terrence Blood Crawford tonight. I want to wish him the best. So with that, see what questions you have.
Was that your hope to just get two good quarters from your top unit today? And what would you say about those guys in the first half, how they performed?
Yeah, I mean, I legitimately go into every game like it's going to be a war. I think when you do that, you don't ever get in there and say, oh, shoot, I wasn't ready for a fist fight. So I was ready for a fist fight. But that being said, I'm happy that we were able to play those guys and then get to the half. We scored 38 points. Just not happy with the last drive on defense and the last drive on offense. The 2-minute drive, and that is something that we're going to need is the 2-minute offense. So we'll have to go back and look at that. But I thought beyond that, we were extremely efficient and tackled well. Looked like we were physical. We played the 2 defense in this the second to last drive on defense. Put the whole group in, so we were able to get them in early, and that was really just as much just the heat, and we have good players on that group, so we need to get them to play. So a lot of guys got to play a lot of snaps. TJ Lateef, I think that's a golden day for him, right? To be able to play that many snaps. Cortez Mills to make that big play, catch those many balls. Isaiah Mosey, all those guys. So it was good to get a lot of guys real reps. You know what I mean? Like in the second half, coming out of half. A lot of times, like last week, we put the ones in to start the second half, and this week I thought, what does TJ need? He needs to be sitting in the locker room. What are those guys? All those guys are in the twos. They need to be sitting in the locker room like, hey, I'm going in. Like have that time to think about it. And then they had to go out and perform, and we got the stop on defense. Then we went down and scored on offense. So I was really happy to see that.
Man, I know that it wasn't perfect, the non-conference or the season.
It was. We were 3-0.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, on the field, I feel like it. But how happy are you about what progress you made about moving into the Big Ten season, where you guys are at?
Yeah, I think you take everything with like a grain of salt, right? Like we haven't played the caliber teams we're gonna play. But all you can do is measure yourself against, where you are and the standards that you have. I thought we played an excellent game. The first game in a lot of areas, or some things that just, and some of those things are still showing up. Like the field goal in the first drive. And our ability to push the ball through the red zone and all that. So we're going to continue to have to get better. So I don't think it's great. I'm not a big sometimes you hear me say the word like narratives and all that. But I think that's true for coaches. Coaches sometimes we have narratives. Oh, we're doing this well. Just take it, watch the tape. This is good. This isn't good. And then some things that look like they're good right now aren't going to be as good versus a different opponent. So we just have to keep reacting as the year goes on. I think we're obviously a significantly better team than we have been, but the road gets a lot harder. If we stay where we are right now, we won't win a lot of games moving forward. We have to improve, and so this was improvement from last week. I thought the week of preparation was excellent. I said that to you guys the other day. I said we'll have to wait and see how the game is, and I thought the focus on Friday into Friday night wasn't always elite. After I had said that, it was kind of like, and it was really more young guys. And I thought the older guys, I have to single out guys like Sierra and Marquise and Deshaun and the whole O-line and Dylan, kept bringing it back to, hey, this is the standard that we have. And I thought a lot of guys did a lot of really good things. So we have a long way to go, but to be 3-0 and to play a Power 4 team and dominate the 2 teams we're supposed to dominate, that's all I can ask of the guys.
Is that what you thought Quentin Ives had to offer coming out of the spring? He was highly regarded, and I know he had the setback in August, but is he now where you hoped he would be at the beginning?
Yeah, and I have to go back and watch a lot of it. The interesting thing is like in all 3 games we've had the other teams have tackled us really low. And we don't tackle those, so I think we've had a hard time reacting to that. This week we did a lot of drills where we were ball security drills, punt return drills, where we're throwing bags at guys' feet, trying to simulate that. There's not a lot of low tackling teams in the Big Ten. And so I'm anxious to see how exactly, I'm going to watch this film here probably about 10 minutes. I'm anxious to see how exactly all of that looked. But I thought you saw a lot of production out of him, out of Quinn, and I thought he caught the ball really well. And Quinn, unfortunately, he hurt his hamstring in the summer, came back and then hurt it again in camp. So he was stuck behind, a bunch of really good players. But, with Mosey having to go out to the slot, and he's kind of playing, they're kind of playing like that two-back stuff with him. But so he's not full-time there anymore. Quentin's gotten an opportunity, and he's done a good job. And he gives us a big back and a big presence. So I'm anxious to see, him continue. But I think he's a starting caliber player in the Big Ten, and I've always felt that since he was a freshman. It's just been about, we've had some pretty good backs in Ramir and Anthony Grant and a lot of guys, and so he's just had to wait his turn. And when he gets an opportunity right now, he's doing a nice job.
Was Makai Nelson available today, Coach?
Yeah, Makai was my decision. He was available to play. Makai's a wonderful young man, but we had some standards. But I had him available. I didn't pull him out. I was gonna, if we had a couple injuries, he was gonna play. But I wanted those other guys to play in front of him. And once the game was out of hand, there was no use putting him in there. But I would have played him if needed.
Coach Butler had talked about this week. I mean, he didn't really care about the shutout. It was more about playing to the standard. And obviously, you probably have to watch the tape a little bit. But did it just feel like on the field the defense played mostly to the standard today?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you score on defense and, you make them punt that many times, I think that's excellent. We had some times where, we had some soft coverage. We gave up some throws. I don't know how many yards they ended up with passing.
68.
So we missed 3 weeks in a row of under 100 yards passing. Sierra did a great job moving into the slot and playing the nickel, which let Donnie and Marshall go outside and start. And then Jameer came in and played well. So I thought, for the most part, a lot of those things looked good. You hate the one long run. We had him tackled in the backfield and he reversed out. If the guys trust the things that we say, when we might say track the near hip, I might say that more than I say go big red. And we didn't track the near hip. And so we got burned on it, and so that'll teach us something. But I thought the guys came out. I'm sure there'll be lots of things, when you pick the film apart. But for where we were and for the opponent we played, I thought they played pretty well. We tackled pretty well, and we got to the quarterback today, which is good.
Is this a situation where you're going to enjoy this one for 24 hours, or do you get a sense your team's really ready to flip the page to Big Ten?
Yeah, they were. I mean, Dylan was talking about doing his Sunday workout today. I asked the guys. I said, I told them I still enjoy it, but to show up tomorrow ready to go. And again, I'm going to make it very clear. It's not about any one opponent in the Big Ten. We're now in Big Ten play. We played 3 non-conference games. We're a proud member of the Big Ten, and it's a challenging conference with a tough schedule. We're going to play a lot of great teams. We have to show up every week and improve. I mean, the first thing we have to do is improve before we even get to the game. And so, I think the guys will be ready to go tomorrow, and we'll have another good week.
I know you expect Dane Key to produce plays, but how nice is it for him to have a 100-yard day kind of going into the Big Ten play?
Yeah, I mean, and last week, Isaiah got off early, and Dane really didn't get his first catch till late in the game. It's just kind of how the teams play you. I was really happy. There was a severe wind down there. I mean, it wasn't as severe as it can sometimes be, but to hit that deep ball into the wind, I thought was really, really important. And good to see Dane catch the ball and have the catch and run touchdown. So, we have a bunch of guys. Corey got off early, so we have a bunch of guys who can catch the ball and make plays. Good to see Tezzy, Cortez make a couple plays. So, and you see the way we're trying to play. Before the game was kind of decided, it's 3rd and 1. We take a shot. We're trying to throw a post for a touchdown. They defended it, so we throw the outcut to Mills. So, I mean, I think I don't know if anyone will, but people should. I think they should appreciate the way the quarterback's playing, the way the receivers are playing. We're getting open and we're catching the ball. And, what was Dylan today? What was it? 15 of 21, we had to throw a couple away. So there's some things we have to improve upon. I hate the way our scramble drill looks right now. We have quarterbacks that are running around and no one's getting open. I was losing my mind on the sideline on that. So there's some things we have to continue to improve upon.
And, about that defensive touchdown, and how important is something like that in this grand scheme of things? And I did see it go up to William after just about the security, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, I yelled at him. And I told the guys at halftime, how great is this? We're up 38, and I didn't yell like I did last week, right? But I walked in, I said, hey, guys, was the end of that half good enough? And they were like, no. And I said, how great is this? We're down 38-0, and you guys aren't satisfied. Williams, I said, William, how many touchdowns you scored in your life? That's his first ever touchdown. That guy's one of the most amazing athletes I've ever seen. It's his first ever touchdown. And he went off the field, he's looking at me, he's going, because, the guy was running to punch the ball out. And I said, how great, how special is what we have? I don't know what the final record will be at the end of the year, but I love this team because they aren't just beholden to the results. They're always trying to get better, and they understand hey, there's a standard, and so if we don't do it, but I was proud of him. I was happy to see him score. I was happy to see all the different things that happened today, and we got another fumble. Derek Wacker looked like made a great play down there. I mean, Wacker's a really good football player. So, there was kind of the concern I had too, just for the record, was that the walk-on program would die. the walk-on program might die with, you know, the proliferation of the 105 roster and all that. And Derek Wacker, man, that thing's alive and well. He's starting on our kickoff return, and you know, forces a fumble, and so he's an excellent football player. So it's good that you know, we got a couple turnovers and scored on defense. You know, we scored on defense last week, scored again on this week, and great teams score between, you know, 8 to 12 times, 11 times. I think the all-time mark here is 10 times. You know, and so obviously that's really hard to do, but you know, it's good to get one in there. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.